Hey guys, Sunstreaker was here. Welcome back to another Thursday live stream where, yes, as always, covering the hot topics on Transformers Earth Wars. And we're back for another Thursday live stream. So apologies for last week, guys. Like you saw, I've probably seen in the Earth War stream that was earlier today. Loads of problems in playtest, people not being able to get in. Apple's absolutely fried right now. So loads of problems. So we couldn't stream last Thursday, so we did a stream on Saturday instead. But we're back to what we hope is our normal Thursday time frame, all being well. So today's stream, what have we got? So just want to give a shout out to CF Tactics, who I have seen is in the chat, and Val as well. Congratulations, they've been added to the YouTube program. I was talking to CF privately, and I was like, "Hey, why are you not in the program yet?" And he's like, "Oh, listen, I'm not for 1 minute saying it's on me, but just saying." I was like, "Why are you not in the program?" He's like, "Oh, I've asked loads of times." I was like, "Let me ask." But yeah, it's good to see them in the content creator program. So the more we have, the better. And then we sort of got added to a chat, sort of talking a bit about content creators, and I'm going to talk a bit about that later as well. We'll talk a bit about medals. I have covered this previously quite a while ago, but it's come up again. And Yannis sort of said something in the screen that sort of thinking should bring the topic up again and sort of talk about it again, because I did suggest this quite a while ago. So we'll talk a bit about that. We're going to carry on our ratings videos. We're going to rate ratings. We're going to be rating healers and triple changes today. Quite a small class. So I've decided to sort of weld the two together to make it, at least a half decent length video. And then we're going to talk a bit about Titans. There's been a bit of talk about Titans and obviously the 5-star balancing. So we're going to have a bit of a talk about that as well. And then we're going to have a look at the new bot. So it has had a bit of an upgrade. But the question is, how much of an upgrade? Is it worth it? And yeah, we'll talk a bit about that as well. So yeah, all that and more as always. But as always, guys, if you've got any questions at all, put them in the chat and I will try my best to answer, especially if you're a new player. New players don't really get this opportunity to sort of speak to someone face to face, so be it, live. But yeah, ask away, it's fine, guys. But just remember, whatever information you do get, take it with a bit of pinch of salt. Because I will guarantee you'll probably ask 10 different people and probably get 3 or 4 different answers. And you'll find that some people agree with others. Some people will go, nah, I don't think so. But the best thing to do for me is to learn why they've chosen them colours and ask why are people choosing this. Why do people put that on that? And I think that's a big part of it for me. I like to sort of explain that, explain why I'm choosing that. Because then you can sort of start thinking for yourself and sort of think, you know what, I can see what was thinking there, but I don't like the direction. I'd rather do this. But I see how he's thinking about that, so maybe they can think about that in a different direction and get what I want out of it. And go and do that, rather than just taking everyone's advice and all of a sudden then just keep switching things over and over and over again. So that's what I do with my base design and stuff like that. I try and think a bit outside the box a bit, try and think a bit different. With my outpost bots, recently just put 6-gun in, and I was like, what? 6-gun? But then I've also put a Make Supreme in. And I was like, what? How would you put a Make Supreme in and 6-gun? So, yeah, plain and simple damage. So you've got 6-gun that goes bang, 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 shoots out 4 rockets. 2 of them rockets hit 1 bot. Can absolutely kill 1 bot easily. And a Make Supreme, the lightning comes down and does huge amount of damage. And to be honest with you, it's a point now at the top of the game where you're not trying to kill the whole team. Unless you're going up against a stupid Beachcomber. But you're not trying to kill the whole team. What you're trying to do is catch someone out, kill a key bot, so they can't do what they're going to do, and then they fail the attack. But if you can get 1 or 2 people to fill in your base, then you've been pretty lucky, really, in high level, decent level wars. And so you're just trying to catch them few people and trip them up. Because most bases nowadays, it's one of those, there's few bases that really work. And you find that what happens is it works in a top level war. All the top level alliances copy it because it works. All low level players see that try and replicate it, but can't. Everyone copies it. People realize how to beat it. People beat it, rinse and repeat. And that's what happens. And that's why I try and design my own designs. And like I said, try and think a bit outside the box a bit. Try and think for yourself and go and create your own design. You know, we do have sort of metas of, you know, backloaded bases, front loaded bases, but I would advise you, it takes a while. It takes good, you know, good few hours. Create a base. Go and attack it with the bots you think would work well against that base, and go and give it a go. And if you beat it easily without a combiner, it needs adjusting. It needs something changing. And then keep trying different ways. Try a rush against it. See how effective that is. Try a rush and smash. Try a backdoor. And try these different attacks against it and see how effective they are. And every time you do an attack and change your base round, it'll change something else. And that's where it gets a bit tedious. But eventually you start to learn to look out for these things. And certain rules help against certain attacks. And that's where you can get better at base design. But just some advice from new players, like I said. Just trying to like help them really find some good information out there rather than just taking advice from everyone and just sticking to that. Go and try and take your own advice by learning the rules rather than just taking the advice blindly. Cool. Anyway, let's have a look who we've got in the chat today. So we've got Ricky Law, we've got Chris Harmon, we've got Trax, aka Penny Lancaster, one of my members. Much appreciated to everyone as a member. I had a couple of new members as well. Literally just yesterday, I sort of posted saying we've got loads of members videos available to go and check them out. Got a few members for that. So thank you for joining and being a member. If you're watching this on catch up even, thank you for being a member. We've also got E-Rod and we've got Shani 523 even. Good friend of mine as well, one of the leaders in, I keep wanting to say TF because it's about a pure habit. Out of G1. So yeah, thanks for joining, Shani. I know I missed a few, but hey, if you can't be here, you can't be here. You're busy. It happens, you know. Dread81, come back as well. Good to see you again. CF Tactics, as I mentioned earlier, and congrats, buddy. We've got Brian Pusher, who's asking where the music is. And yeah, we did have music on. We had Transformers music. It was really cool. And then copyright were like, nah. YouTube said, nope. You are not having that. And so it got demonetized. Now, to be fair, I don't monetize my streams anyway. So I probably could use it. But they are quite strict on copyrights and demonetizing. And I just didn't want to go down that route, if I'm honest with you. I didn't want to chance it. I didn't want my stream start. Because what happened was I started using the in-game music as a background. And then all of a sudden, I started getting... And I used to monetize my streams, remember. But it was causing some issues. And I stopped. But anyway, long story. And I started getting a notification saying your stream has been demonetized. I was like, alright, it's an old stream anyway, it doesn't matter. Then I got another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, another one, and another one, and another one. To the point where every stream that I'd done over the past like 2 years, I was getting notifications. I had like 100 notifications. I was like, it didn't bother me they were demonetizing it because it's an old stream, no one's really going to watch it. My videos are still monetized, that's the main thing. The annoying thing was the notifications for emails I was getting 7, 8, 9, 10 a day, just clogging up my emails. So I was like, yeah, I'm taking that music off. I can't be doing with this. And to be fair, I've not had a notification in a few weeks now, thankfully, because I've got them all in a space of a few weeks. So yeah, I need to be careful what music I add, just because I can't be bothered with those notifications again. Carnage back alright as well. Welcome back to the stream. Dark Langs, buddy of mine. Good to see you. Joseph Prime. Jose Barreto. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Hello. Thanks for joining. Volcanica69. Welcome back as well. Illuminati as well. Who else have we got? We've got Giga. We've got Jason Roller. We've got Lyle Woods. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Oh, aka Mr. Steeler. So yeah, he has been in the stream before. Different account, go under the radar. I get it. Who else have we got? And we've got, oops, just jumped ahead. We've got Aiden Bumpman. He's got a 4-star Grimlock that's been carrying me. Good bot. Good. I'm literally investing in my 5-star Grimlock right now. So yeah, good bot. Here come the members. Blade 19, Stephen Gomez. Good to see you guys. Spencer 394 as well. Luke Mega 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good to see you back as well. King Grimlock, good buddy of mine as well. Yeah, been talking to him for quite a while. I think mostly playtest. Is that where we met in playtest? But he's been a long-serving member of playtest, and we sort of see eye to eye on a lot of things. And he's quite fair with his construction, not construction, no. Uh, constructive feedback. He's quite good with constructive feedback. So yeah, good buddy of mine. Thanks for joining King Grimlock. Soldier as well. Go and check out Soldier's channel as well, guys. I know I mentioned CF Tactics and Val earlier, but also check out Soldier and Freeze as well. I think everyone's sort of familiar with them. But good to see you, Sol, as well. And Seti83, how's it going as well? So let's just go through some of the comments, see what everyone's sort of saying. So yeah, Traxpen Lancaster support. Hey, just ready for the weekend. Maximum effort for that major rank. I'm a bit disappointed in myself. It wasn't captain rank. I feel like, if you're putting all that effort up, it should have been captain rank, shouldn't it? Major should have been a bit further down. Like, I just feel like, we talk about carrot. I keep going on about it, but I feel like everyone either goes 87.5 or 37.5. And I looked at it and I was like, I could easily do more than 37.5 on Mayhem mode. I'm going to be done by Saturday, pretty much. Yeah, it's going to be super easy. And I'm working this weekend, so I've got plenty of time. And then I thought, yeah, but you know what? If they would have put a major rank at 60k, I'd have probably done 60k rather than the 87.5 and rather than the 37.5k. And then they probably should have put a general rank at, 100k, say, and done that instead. But I don't know. Again, they tend to overprice things, but I don't think the major rank's that pricey. But you got to think if they're asking 100k for a major rank, what they do for a general, 150k for a general rank. There's a lot in it. Chris Harmon's put, I got 8 generals and 6 more majors. You are mad, my friend. You are mad. Jose Breto says, I lost all count of that game you play. I lost experience. I was level 16. My levels were 4 by back. If you ever lose your account, if you've spent on your account, super easy. All you need to do is go and find an old receipt that you bought and go and contact. Well, I say Spacey, Yoda 1 now, but go and use the in-game. We can't go in-game. You can't go your account. I'll find the email. Listen, if you're struggling to get your account, hit me up on Discord. I will gladly help you get your account back. But just go on Discord, find Dale if or Callum if you're in the Discord server. They're both community managers. They're really good. Hit them up and just say, listen, I had an account years ago. This is the name of it. Even if you don't know the name, you can go, listen, I can't remember. But if you've got that receipt, it is super easy because it can just trace what account that is linked to. And because you've got a receipt, then chances are you get your account back quite easy. Without that receipt, it's a bit harder from what I'm hearing because you're sort of just going off your word and going like, well, yeah, it was my account. Well, was it? Wasn't it? Is it someone else's account you're trying to steal? They don't know that, so it's a bit harder. But if you've got that sort of Google receipt that links to you and you can go, listen, this is my Google receipt. And now, obviously, the game is then linked to that Google account, then it's pretty much evidence it's yours, I believe. I think that's how it works. So, yeah, hit Dale or Callum up, and they will gladly get your account back. Don't start again. Don't lose all that effort you put in. Go and get your account back. You can play that account in the meantime while you get it, but I'm 99% sure if you spent on it, if you've spent anything, even if it's $1, I'm pretty confident from what I believe you can get your account back. And if you don't, hit me up, and then I will even help you chase it up. Honestly, don't lose your account, guys, ever. Yeah, Downton's just put medals are worthless. Yeah, they've been saying this for a while to do something, but I think they actually mean it this time. We know. Volcanica 69, will the new bot actually be useful, or will it be like Taz Kid? You'll have to wait and find out. Yeah, Volcanica support, Grimlock's good, a lot better than what it was. Yeah, Dale did a really good job on him, I thought. Changing from special to warrior really worked. Volcanicus, I'm still waiting on a refund for pulling Taz Kid. You won't get a refund. If you pull the 5-star crystal, you will not get a refund for Taz Kid. I promise you. The crystal is the crystal. Don't pull from that batch if you don't want Taz Kid. That's the answer you'll get, sadly. But I kind of get it, though. I kind of get you might be annoyed, but I kind of get that unless you got it before the nerf, or not the fix, not the nerf, sorry, before you got fixed, then I kind of get you want a refund then. But good luck with that. Brian pushes support. It might be a nice feature if when you select a bot for an outpost, you could prioritize what class of bot you want it to attack. Yeah, but I just think that everyone would put healers, wouldn't they? Everyone would put healers. I would. Healers and gunners. And yeah, it makes the attack almost impossible. So I like the way you think outside the box a bit, but I just don't think it'll work really. So. Darklands, does Base Trial still use bots? I don't know. Is that the bug? I know people were saying it wasn't working on the live service. I'm not too sure. What else? Dread 81. How's Tricks today? Was it alright? Yeah, well, yeah. I was watching a bit of RL. We don't mind, but yeah. There's a guy called Ren. Don't know if you know him from the UK. Go and check him out. Really cool artist. Suffers from autoimmune disease, I think it is, and a couple of other things, but really talented. He's like a sort of rapper, but plays guitar a bit like sort of Plan B. I hope he doesn't mind me saying that, but a bit sort of like Plan B was, but a bit cooler, I'm honest with you. But he's had a bit of controversy, not him, but around ownership of tracks. So he's used a track where someone's gone, hey, I've made this beat, you want to use it? And he's paid for that beat, and then from what I understand, I just want to be careful and not get into this because I don't want lawyers hit me up saying libel and stuff like that. But from what I can gather, from what I've been told anyway, what I've seen, this track wasn't an original track. It used a sample, and then people were asking for money, and then it sort of got passed on and who's responsible for paying for it. And he's made a track out of that that's gone on YouTube and made money. And he's like, well, why should I? I was told that it was totally legit, and this guy saying, well, no, it's in the contract. Oh, it's just the best thing. So I was watching that anyway. Ren's really cool. Go and check out Ren, R-E-N. Go and check him out on YouTube. Really cool. I think it's a song called, I think it's called Hi Ren. Really, really good song. Really, you won't hear anything like it. I promise you. If you go and listen to Hi Ren for the full amount, you will never hear a song like it. It's mad. But really, really good. Anyway, watching that last night. So anyway, still up late watching that. It was like a big story about what happened and the reasons why and the reason this video got taken down off YouTube and everything. Fast forward anyway, sorry. In work this morning, so 3 hours sleep, so I was knackered. But I had a long day today, loads of stuff in work to do. It was a mad busy day. Engineers are coming in all day, just mad. Come home and I had a parents' evening with Jacob. I had a really good parents' evening, so that was cool. And literally then come in and then just sort of started getting ready for my stream and catch up on a few things. And yeah, that's pretty much it, yeah. A normal day in the was a household, yeah. Spencer 394, but I'd also say lower HQ level base design is kind of difficult and awkward. Yeah, it kind of is, but not in a way. But it is. But you understand that there's powerful bots in the game that make it really hard. Base design was probably simpler back then. Honestly, it's getting a bit too crowded now. Yeah, the problem is it's not as awkward. The problem is that you try and copy top level bases and you don't have the resources to do it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work the same because walls don't have the same HP and bots will walk through walls rather than round them. So pathing's different. And it just works differently. Low level bases, sadly. But I kind of get what you mean though. What else? Oh yeah, I mean general, not captain. Yes, what? Captain? What you on about? Yeah, I mean general. Sorry. Yeah. See, Texas boy, I'll be in and out of the chat. It's mine and my missus' anniversary. What? And you're here? What are you doing, man? go and spend your anniversary. Check up on me later. Jesus Christ. Sorry, Lord's name in vain and all that. But yeah, man, it's your anniversary. Go and enjoy it. But yeah, thanks. Well, yeah, it's a big compliment coming to my stream, I suppose, isn't it? So thank you anyway. Happy anniversary as well. Gold Vector Sport. SA need to buff Cliff Jumper. Yeah, well, I sort of said today there's quite a few bots. Well, I said on my stream the other day. I did a video on it, and I just said, you know, there is some content that needs nerfing in my opinion. Unpopular opinion, maybe. Do I bring the series back? I don't know. Let me know, guys. Unpopular opinion. Do I get freezes on back on the channel again in grind time? It's up to you guys. I can do that maybe. But unpopular opinion. I think that yeah, these bots do need nerfing. Beachcomber, Leo Prime, Ultimate Optimus, and Ruination. I say Raiden then, it's not Raiden. Ruination. So yeah, I think they do. But I said to Dale, I think that there are 10 times as many bots that need buffing, that need work, that need a cost reduction, or need a damage increase, or something like that, a range increase, or something, or a better G1. Maybe 30 times. Honestly, there's so many things in this game that could do with being balanced. And I said to Dale, I said, listen, when he sort of told me, he told me a bit before most people about what he was planning to do. And I said, listen, if you're going to buff more than you nerf, I'm on board. I'm on board. I will back you. I will go on my stream and say, like, yeah, I'm on board with this. It's a good thing for the game. And it is. But there has to be more buffs than nerfs. And I actually said, don't announce the nerfs. Do buff first to get the community going and go, oh yeah, it's really good, and then do the nerfs. But no, they're not doing that. I don't think. I think they're doing it all together maybe. Don't know. But yeah. But yeah, Volcanicus put they made Sunstreaker better. I know, but I think there's more planned at Sunstreaker as well, from what Dale told me. I don't want to give too much away, because he sort of told me on the hush. But he's told me a few things that are going to happen behind the scenes. And from what I've heard, Sunstreaker is going to get a bit of a even more buff as well. Not because of me. I'm not saying like listen, you need to buff Sunstreaker, mate. I didn't say that to him. He just told me that his plans around some things and went through some bots, and we talked about loads of bots. I couldn't even name all of them. If I'm honest with you, we talked about Springer the other day because he even said to him like, "You've put on thing that he's going to get a 1 second increase." It's not much really. And he went, no, we're going to visit that again. I went, oh, okay, fine. That's it. I just do that every now and again. Every day I probably hit Dale up saying, like, what's this deal with this? What's that? Have you noticed this? There's a glitch with this. Like, this needs fixing. What's happened with this? It could be anything, really. So, yeah. Grindtime's finally coming to the chat. So, thank you for joining, buddy. As always, good to see you. Get them shot glasses ready. Jed Prime has put the changes for the changes for the changes. The changes for the changes. The changes for the changes. I hadn't said that to her. He said that, but the changes for the changes. He posted on Discord. Look very good. They do. I agree. Really, really good. Volcanica 69's put don't nerf Ruination. I think the word nerf is scaring people. I don't think it will be nerfed as much as people think. I think it'd be better balanced. I can't say too much because me and Dale were talking about it, and when he sold it to me, and I think he was selling it to me, I was like, yeah, I don't think that's that bad really. I don't think it's too bad. I think in wars you'll notice it, yeah, but I don't think you'll notice it as much in leveling and in Zen farming and stuff. I really don't, honestly. But I don't want to get people's hopes up too much. But honestly, like if I've got my way and I can use my influence, then Ruination won't be nerfed to the point. I don't want to say something and it's not right, but I feel like even after these changes, Ruination will still be the best combiner. There you go, I said it. That's how I honestly feel. I still feel like it'll be the best combiner. It'll be still useful in a lot of ways. But we're gonna see. What else? Jed Prime, what do you think of the medic change? Brilliant, amazing, love it, great. Freezius in the stream as well. Good to see you, Freezius. Make sure you're going to check out Freezius' channel. Go check it out, guys. King Grimlock's put, whatever they do, they cannot minimize current high level or high use bots. What do you mean by that? They can't minimize. What do you mean? Let me know what you think. What you mean by that? Grind Times put, did all I ever watch the wrestling match? Yeah, so she I can't remember her name. Grind Time probably put in the chat. I don't know, but the triple threat ladies match, or there's Madam Wrestling at the minute. So yeah, we watched that. She really likes the women wrestlers, so we watched that on the highlights the next day. So yeah, but yeah. We did plan to watch it and stay up, but then literally I was on my game, messed about and all that, turned around, crashed out, asleep, tried waking her up. She was gone. She was asleep. I was like, it's done. I was looking forward to watching wrestling with her at like 1 in the morning over here. So it's late. She's only 8. But she crashed out at midnight, I think it was. Down says, but would be nice to know why the Odos think Ruin is so overpowered because of the damage he can clear. Because he can clear such a huge amount of damage. I mean, come on, like, we could be honest about these things. He clears so much, it's ridiculous. He does. And you can use each ability like 2 or 3 times. So it is a bit crazy. And I know people are going to go, not in top level wars, but let's be honest. Let's put our cards on the table. If you take away the MDS and beam lasers, he stays alive for a long time. A long time. And for me, it's all about the regeneration of his abilities. That's coming from me, not from Dale. I think he's too spammy. I really do. Compared to other combiners, you can say I'm wrong on that. That's fine. But yeah, he does too much damage and he regens too quick. Dale wants to keep the spam bit because I said he's too spammy. That's what I said. That's his problem. I said I don't think the damage he does is ridiculous, but it's the point you can do it 2 or 3 times. You can't do that with other combiners. And he said, no, I like the fact he's spammy. So Dale wants to keep that. So I don't think there's going to be massive changes. I really don't. What else? Rhea Ripley. Thank you, Grand Time. Yes. Dread 81's put combiners have been nerfed enough as is. 8 out of 10 are garbage, so buff the others, so maybe we only have 7 garbage there. No, they've not been nerfed. The combiners haven't been nerfed, they just haven't been buffed. There's a big difference. Traxpen Lancaster's book, can't wait to power level hotspot this weekend. Hotspot, interesting. Interesting. Jed Prime's, but I've accepted it's obvious Leo Prime, Blue Streak, Ruin, Optimal all be given nerf. They are too strong. If you think logically, I think that's the key. You just got to look at it logically. Don't look at your account. Don't look at what you've invested. Look at it logically. And you've got to think you've had so much use out of it. You know, it's people are going to cry like, you know, oh, I want a refund, but you've had this bot being massively overpowered for a year and took good use out of it and got good war rewards and had some real fun with it and probably leveled some bots with it as well. So, you know, good luck to you. But I don't think you can ask for a refund. I really don't. And I know Grimlock's saying, like, you know, there's too much already invested in bots. I kind of get that. But you would argue that a top level player should have multiple options. And I did say this years ago. And I did say that the way I see it is you would have different teams for different bases. And I think we're sort of going that direction slowly the way it is. Like, I know people are now creating teams around normal damage because everyone's using acid and fire cools. And so at some point they're going to need some sort of counter for normal damage in some way. And then you can sort of pick and choose your poison, so to speak. So, you know, I like the fact that I'm trying to get away from acid and fire now. And try and use normal damage bots instead, so there's no counters for it. You don't have to worry about build bots as much. So that's pretty good. What else? That one's put you can't use the hollows twice. No, granted, but you can use the rest twice. Come on. That's good. Well, I'll give you that one. That's good. Grand Test, but I think millions watched it. Not as much as the World Cup, though. Let's not get into this. No American sport is watched as much as the World Cup. Just saying, all Champions League final. Not even the Super Bowl, my friend. Not even the Super Bowl. Not even close. Yeah, Egg Bar will never win, and neither will anything else. Kingdom Knots, yeah, Leo's broken, yeah. Track Power Lancaster spot. So what you're saying is all the combiners need to be brought up to Ruination spamming ability. Why do people complain when combiners are expensive? We should get good use out of them. I kind of get that point. That you have got to get 5-star bots to get them, and I kind of get people a bit annoyed about that. But again, going back to my point, if they nerf Ruination so he is crap, then I'm on board with you guys. I'm like, yeah, no, listen, this is Vanguard of Order. But if they reduce him by, say, 10-20%, then I'm on board with it because he's massively better than every single combiner. They can buff Volcanicus tomorrow and he still won't be as good as Ruination. Now, if your argument is HU19 is around the corner, why don't we just wait till HU19 and balance them all then? Then I'm kind of on your side as well. I asked that question. I was like, why are we doing this now? Why not wait until HQ19? Because then Ruination won't be as effective. And really, all the combiners should be matching Ruination for HQ19. But for HQ18, he's overpowered. But they were like, no, we're balancing it now. And I was like, right, okay, that's your choice, fine. But it's their choice, isn't it? Chris Harmon, the Super Bowl is the most watched sporting event. No, it's not. No, it's not, brother. It is in America. Right, I'm going to say something that's going to annoy a lot of people in America. No one cares about the Super Bowl outside of America. No one. Honestly, like, Americans can't fathom it. They can't understand it because they started living this bubble of, like, they think that everyone does the same as them. We don't. No one watches basketball. No one watches baseball. No one watches football or American egg ball or such. No one watches that. Whereas literally the Champions League and the World Cup is watched in every country all over the world. It's the most watched sporting event. Go and Google it, honestly. Go and Google it. Trinity One's put, I'm actually against the combiners nerf because of what you said before about variety. At the moment, it's Ruination, maybe Omega, Volcanica, third bit. We should have at least 5. Yeah, but that's point of variety, though. But the point being is that there's not variety. There's not variety because everyone's just Ruination. That's the point. I'm going to Google something here now because everyone's going like, no, the Super Bowl is the most watched sporting event. So let's have a look then. Let's have a look. How many viewers of the Super Bowl? So the Super Bowl, the latest one, number whatever it is, got 127 million viewers. 127 million. And the World Cup final got 1.1 billion viewers. So 127 million compared to 1.1 billion. And then the Champions League. The Champions League got 400 million viewers. So the Super Bowl is not the most viewed event. It's not. It's not, guys. You need to get that into your heads. It ain't. No one cares about it outside of America. And I'll guarantee them 127 million, 120 million of them are in America. So yeah, in America, it is the most watched sporting event. Yes, it is. Outside of that, sorry. Do you see the NFL in Europe when they play there? No, I couldn't even say when it is. No one watches it. Honestly, do you know what? I'll say this grind time. I'm gonna finish on this and I'm gonna get cracking on with thingy. But I'll say it to grind time. For us, the NFL games over here is like going watching a concert. It's not like a sporting event. It's like, oh, should we go and do that? That's pretty cool. Yeah, let's go and do that. It's not like they don't care about the team. They don't care who wins. They don't know who the other teams are. They just go to it because it's a sporting event and it's pretty cool to go and turn up. So yeah. Stephen Gomez, cricket has more viewers globally than the Super Bowl. Probably, yeah. I don't know about Super Bowl. I don't know about the Super Bowl, maybe, but about American football, maybe, but not about Super Bowl. But yeah, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Because you got to think as well. A lot of people who watch cricket are in Africa and like Pakistan and the places like that have huge India that have huge populations all over the world. Obviously Australia as well. They're massive fans of it. So yeah, all over. Playing 19 is like going to watch a circus. Oh, funny. Valhalla Streets, can we congratulate Liverpool who become the most successful English club this weekend? Is that true? The most successful? What? Because they won the most leagues? Depends though. I think you're still living on the 80s and 70s. You're still living on them. Not in most recent years. That's only because many other countries aren't strong enough to play football. Oh my god, I love these arguments. It's great, honestly. I love it. It's great. Trax says, but I'm American. Even I know that football is watched around the world more than egg ball. You got the words mixed up there. But yeah, egg ball and football. Tractor Sport should give it a chance, but oh, God, honestly. And Dread 81 has put 230 million for the Cricket Champions Trophy, so that there's more cricket fans than football fans even. Wow, funny, honestly. So yeah, it's not even the third most watched sporting event. It's like fourth, maybe fifth, maybe. I would not be watched Formula One. Someone Google it. I can't sit here googling all day. But yeah, I bet it is. But yeah, it's just too much stop start for me in American football. I like the fact that they do like, well, I don't know really, like the fact that they have like singers on and things like that. You're like, are you there for the sport or are you there for like an event? That's the point I'm making about people going watching it over here. They don't go for the sport. They don't go because they like American football. They go for the event. Whereas when you go to watch a football match, you go for the sport. There's no like fireworks and halftime show and all this. Don't stop and start and don't have cheerleaders. We don't have that. We have one guy in an owl outfit that kicks a ball at the net and misses and falls over and everyone laughs at him. That's about it. We don't have anything. Jed Prime, sorry, when is the balance patch and are you not worried with the amount of changes made? Well, yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I'm worried about the amount of changes made and hopefully it doesn't crash the whole thing. But Dale assures me he's been meticulous. And a lot of the changes just like cleaning things up and then like explanations of abilities where it says like, you know, burn for like, some say like, I think Dust Up says burn for like 1500 damage. And you're like, oh, 1500 damage? That's almost as good as Leo Prime. And then you use Leo Prime and use Dust Up, and obviously Leo Prime is 2000 damage per second, Dust Up is 1500 overall. So, huge difference. So he's cleaned that up to make it so you can see exactly what they're doing. Cool. People are still going on about Super Bowl. Oh my days. Oh, Stephen Gomez, you made my day with that. In 2023, the Super Bowl was the 8th most watched thing globally. That's great. And Blade 19, but most of the time people went to see Taylor Swift. May as well be in a Taylor Swift concert. That's the point I'm making. You don't see that over here. You don't get that in football. Not a chance. Not a chance. What you get over here is City playing the Champions League and they boo the music and they hate them. Honestly, it's funny. Anyway, cool. Right, let's go into this newsletter anyway. Let's get cracking because we've talked too much about everything else. Cool. Alright, let's go. Right, this weekend's event is the Awakenings. I think we all know by now it's an endurance event, big weekend for the new bots available. Armada Scavenger, sorry, and Armada Wheeljack Scavenger for the bots, Wheeljack for the cons. Still find that weird, but a lot of people corrected me in that video. We're like, it's not strange. Armada Scavenger is an Autobot. I'm like, alright. But he looks like Devastator. Just saying. So, yeah, 1.5 million points for 4-star, 3.5 million for the 5-star, and then the major rank item at 4 million points. And then, obviously, as always, you're getting 3-star, 4-star, 1,000 5-star shards? Is that normal? Have they stinged out on that, or is it just me? Isn't it more than 1,000 5-star shards normally? Let me know in the chat. That just seems like it's a bit low. Isn't it 1,500 normally? Okay. Don't know, can't remember. But then we got some Prem Spark, Combiner Spark, some Power Cores, G Metals, and then some Total Spark and Total Shard Crystals. So I'm at a point now where I don't need Total Spark and Total Shard Crystals. I mean, oh my god, how many have I got? I can't remember now. It's something mad how many I've got. So yeah, not gonna bother with them really. Overflowing with Spark, overflowing with everything really, I'm honest with you. But yeah, the Spark Crystals contain all the Spark, and obviously the Total Shards contain all the Shards as well. They're sort of showing the beginning of the event up to I don't know about the end now. I think they cut the end off. But yeah, it does carry on, I assure you. But the funny thing is now, if they don't put it in, then maybe you can say, well, I didn't get the 5-star bot. And they can go, well, we didn't tell you getting a 5-star bot. We never put it in. I don't like guys, joking aside. But yeah. And then game updates information, talking about playtest, just so you know, it's been struggling recently, getting onto iOS. It's not their fault, to be fair. But some problems with the system they were using when it got closed by Microsoft, and now they're using a Google alternative. So because they're using a Google alternative, they can't use Apple on it, and there's no Apple alternative, I believe, or not one they can get access to right now, and that's the problem, sad as it is. But yeah, but they are working on it. And then Cyberpass skins. So I'm not gonna lie, I seen Shattered Glass Bombshell and I was like, I like that skin. That skin is sick. I like that. And I'm not a big fan of skins really, but I was like, I really like that skin. And then realised I'm not getting that skin because that's Decepticon skin. And then I went, oh, and then you see the Windblade skin, you're like, just looks like Proxima Midnight, doesn't it? Really, not a big fan really. Yeah, not a big fan. So yeah, I've had a bombshell. So congratulations, cons. You're getting a pretty cool skin there, and we're just getting a knockoff. Not a big fan of that. End of the saga. Start a new saga next week. Beauty Corner. No pictures this week. Just obviously saying they're inviting CF and Val to the content creators list. So well done to them again. And as always, check out your content creators. It's Freezes Max, Soldier, myself, and CF and Val. Go and check them out, guys. This week, Nico's turn, which is his QA tester. It's picked Mindwipe and Predacon Inferno. Two contrasting bots, really. One that's a bit meh, one that's like, what? But yeah, you can go and read that. At least he's written his own bio, it seems, and it's a pretty good bio, to be fair. I'll give him that. I'll give him his explanation is pretty good. Not copy and paste like the previous ones have been sometimes. And that's everything on the news. Let's have a look what people put in. Shots, did I say mental? Oh, there it goes again. Sorry. Downs put normally 2,500 4-star shards and 900 5-star shards. Is it really? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Played 19s, but I thought it was 1,500. I don't know. Grind time spot. I wonder if we could end up with an Autobot Devastator. No, I think we're gonna got the G2 skin somehow. I think something like that. But yeah, no, I don't think so. All right, cool. Let's go into the games. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna look at it later. I want to know how many total spark crystals I've got, because I've got quite a few. Quite a few. I've got quite a lot. So yeah, it's not that I need more spark anyway. Not that I need it. Got plenty. So quickly, Stephen Gomez put a quick question in. He's put, who would you use the major rank skip on with the nerf incoming? Good question. Good question. See, it still matters how much they change them. I don't know. I'm leveling Grimlock at the minute. I like Grimlock. I do like Grimlock. Grimlock, Sea Spray, Pipes, Slug. Someone like that does. It's decent. But I can't see them getting much of a nerf or much change. Because they're still pretty good. Maybe even Nose Cone even. So one of them sort of warriors. So, but even someone does damage that doesn't do too much damage, like maybe Sea Spray. I don't know. I don't think Sea Spray will get a nerf. You're not been talked about. I've not seen it, but I don't know. You never know, do you? You never know. I know Jazz will get a bit of buff. Hot off the press, Jazz is gonna get a buff. I'm not sure if we mentioned that or not. I can't remember. But yeah. Down to the Blue Streak. I think Blue Streak's gonna get a nerf though as well, some kind. Well, I think Dale said that it's gonna increase the repeat cost. That's gonna be changed to Blue Streak, and maybe the reduction in HP change that maybe slightly. I don't know, but yeah, Don't know. Don't know. But yeah. I'll try and go through some of mine later if you need to, and I'll try and go through the bots that I'm leveling at the minute, and I'll give you an idea on who I think will turn out of this well, or who's going to come through well for HU 19. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, cool. Medals. So for a long, long time, medals have meant absolutely nothing. And they mentioned on the stream today something that I sort of spoke about a long time ago, and I mean, I'm talking 7 years ago when we first sort of came into playtest, and when they set up playtest, they sort of said to us, what would you want to see in the stream, in the game? Sorry, not in the stream. What would you want to see in the game? And we said a seasonal medal leaderboard. That'd be great. Where these medals that you get mean something and they get reset, and other games do this every single month, whatever it is, week, whatever it is. But every other game does this, but we don't use this for medals at all. There's no competition individually midweek. And I get they don't want this to be grinding and all that, but if people want to grind, they can do for something like, for these rewards. But we sort of have seasons for wars, but nothing with medals. And I've always said that they're useless. They don't even show really like how powerful you are, because you're going to be an average player, go and raid a lot, some decent teams, and get fairly high. It means your collection's quite high. You level a lot of bots. It doesn't mean you're generally a top player though. Not necessarily. It's generally you'll find some top players up there, but not generally. So it doesn't mean anything really. Collection leaderboard filters into that a bit, but they really need to utilize medals. And they've said about these, seasonal things. And if you've played sort of Clash Royale, you've played Clash of Clans, then you'll sort of understand this. That what happens is your medals will get to a certain level, and then you build it up, and you're in a race against everyone else. And they'll have brackets, they'll have like the top one, a bit like the leaderboards, top 1, top 2, top 3 prizes, then top 10, then top 50, then top 100, then top 200, then top 500, then top 1000, and a lot of prizes for each one. You got to try and get into the next tier and stay up there, because you'll get into the next tier, you go to bed, you wake up in the morning, you drop down, you need to get up again. So it keeps you playing the game, keeps you engaged. And I think that's an important part as well, because I said in the past that there's too much in this game where you can log in, do 5 battles, 6, 7 battles. Let's be honest, even if you run all your cells down, you do 15 battles and you close the game and walk away, because fuel cells matter too much in this game for every kind of sort of event, every kind of different play mode. And so that needs to change as well. There's a few things I think, but for me, the big one is engagement. They need more engagement in the game midweek, and people are not going to spend on cells midweek. They need some free-to-play engagement, bit grindy maybe, something where you can play the game if you want to. Something that's going to say, you can come in, you can come home from work, your war's done, whatever, and you can go and play the game endlessly. That's what matters to me. But you can't do that. I said to Dale as well, this game is so hard to stream, and I had to evolve my stream into an information stream, because I couldn't do a play test. I couldn't do a play stream where I was playing the game constantly, because I was running out of cells and just sat there going like, ooh, should just wait half an hour for my cells to come back, then I can do one more attack. So it's a bit too restrictive. So I'm all for this, bringing medals, meaning something, having leaderboards, having prizes. What prizes still up in the air? We don't know yet. I presume it'd be, might even be ranks, might even be, for the top, number 1 in the medals and this. And then, put prizes throughout. And then what happens is, at the end of the season, the month, whatever it is, everyone drops down X amount of medals, and you drop down to a plateau. And everyone drops down to, say, 20,000 medals at the top, from 26 to 20,000. Bang, everyone's 20,000, go. And you go again. And then you keep going. And obviously, the more bots you've got leveled, the more teams you've got, the more proficient you are in attacking in zone 16, then the more you'll get, and the higher up the leaderboard you will go, and the more you play the game. And it also helps people that have, got good teams, but have got more time on their hands. Because I always feel like there's people in this game that maybe don't have as much money as other people, but have invested in the game over 10 years, time-wise, and that would help them. It's very free-to-play friendly, I feel, in that sense. Not getting the bots and leveling them, that's not obviously not, but it's free to play friendly in the case of that, you know, if you've got the bots already and you're willing to put the time in, you can get more rewards than a guy that's got is maybe higher level than you, but not as much time. So, you know, time is a bigger factor than money, which I think a lot of this game is more geared towards money than time. It's shortcuts, it's playing on your impatience. Yeah, granted, that's what these games are all about, but there's too much of that. That's what I'm saying. There's not as much grindy stuff, I feel, by choice. But don't make it essential. Don't make it essential. Just make some good rewards that are there if you want to, and I really think it can work. I think it'll do well to get people playing the game a bit more midweek. We'll see how it goes. Probably more coming in next stream, next Space Ape stream, and we'll see what comes of it. Oh, Callum's in the chat, so thanks for joining, Callum. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, Blade 19's put you Jim Wankham flatline. Can't go wrong. Yeah, I can't see Minerva flatline changing much. I think they're really, really good. So yeah. Stephen Gomez, medals are the same as being Facebook rich, pretty much. Yeah, Darkness has put, once I complete Cyber Pass tasks, I barely do anything outside of wars. I'll be honest with you, I completed Cyber Pass in the last 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks, I don't even bother with the Cyber Pass. And you know what? If I don't get the skins and don't get some of the shards, I don't really care either, because I'm like, I don't need them again. You know, I think there's a massive lack in this game of having top players spend resources, because we've got so many. Let's be honest, everywhere you sort of look, you know, it's like a competition almost, how many shards you can save, how many shards you can get, how many crystals in your space bridge. You know, that's the kind of point we're at. Darklands elimination should not cost fuel. I agree. I do agree with that. I think the only problem is that, well, I think you're getting XP from the bot, and you're getting Zen, and then you can buy XP with Zen. You're getting more XP for your bots, but is that a bad thing, really? I don't know. They might have to scale down the Zen to XP conversion if they're gonna do that, and I won't be too bothered about that, because you can just grind and get some still. I just don't know. I'd have to do the maths and see how many battles you could do in, say, 3 months, and how much XP that would get you, and realistically, and that's the sort of calculation you got to do over time, rather than just a short term, like, you know, how many in a day. Because you also look at numbers and go, oh, it's only this. But when you look over it over like 3-6 months, you can go, you know, that's a lot. You know, if you're getting more XP in 6 months than you would do in 2 endurances, then yeah, it's not ideal, is it? Because people are going to just go, oh, I was going to do that more than endurance, mainly, not level bots. I don't know, slippery slope. Got to be careful with the economy. Blade 19's put fuel session we got rid of are only used in for the weekend events. I wouldn't say get rid of them. It's a big part of the game. It's a fundamental part of the game. I wouldn't say get rid of them. But again, it frustrates me that fuel cells are used for elimination. Do you know what they should do? Here's what I'm going to say. What they should have is they should have elimination cells. And they should have normal fuel cells. And they should have maybe something for, I don't know, they got raid cells, and they got raid cells. Should have elimination cells. That's what it should have. And they should have fuel cells and different cells, different energies. They have that in Marvel Strike Force. It makes more sense, because you do your battles for raids and all this, and then you're sort of stuck, you know. But the more they had, I would love it if I could come on here and do 15 battles and do some raids, then do 15 battles, do some Zen farming, then do 15 battles and do something else, and stream that for an hour, and then do some, you know, do some of these things as well. Do these, you know, information sort of things as well, but also just play the game. And you can make videos like that as well, and people sort of, you know, newer players sort of see you playing the game and get into it a bit more, because they can see a top player playing the game, and I feel like it'd be a lot better for the game. See a tactics, but yeah, but obviously cooldowns as well. Yeah, cooldowns is a big one. Cooldowns in wars makes no sense to me. Get rid of cooldown. Get rid of cooldowns in wars, and bring out Zen fuel cells, or, you know, elimination fuel cells, and I'd be quite happy with that. I think that's a good balance. I think it'll be a good place there. Yeah. Blade 19, but they want to earn money off them, but no one really spends midweek. You know, they can, yeah, Volcanic 69, took the words out of my mouth. There's other ways to earn money. Go and earn your money at weekends. Sell things in the store. Go and sell 5-star bots. You know, this bot comes out, put it in the store. I'm fine. You know, I'm fine with that. And people sort of like said in the chat, oh, it's not fair. You get a G1 when you buy it. Yeah, but you lose a lot of XP as well. So you're not complaining you're not getting any XP, are you? So, you know, if you want the G1, go and buy it in the store then. You know. Yeah, down as spot side pass task needs to change up. They're too stagnant. I agree with that as well. Kind of right, but devs need brain cells. Sorry, couldn't resist. Yeah. Grind Tanzan likes the cells idea. Yeah, just again, like, but there's enough clever people in this game that play this game that put these ideas forwards for them to take note and go, oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. But you just feel like you're having the same conversations time and time again. It's the same problems. Doesn't go anywhere. Trax Pelenka's put, don't you have to be in the top alliance war to be called a top player? Asking for Wazza. Not really, no. I did a 300 the other day against Scorched Earth quite easily. Yeah, you know, I'm sure I can go to a higher alliance tomorrow if I wanted to, but the difference is I don't want to. The difference is that I was where you are and higher than that for a lot longer, for a lot long period of time, and now can't be bothered. No, it's not that. It's multiple factors. It's part of it is time because also I've become a manager now, so I'm part of my job more. My kids are growing up, more dependent on me taking them places and doing things, and also it's just pure frustration and like bugs and stuff like that, and things not working as it should, and we sort of sat there going like, why is that done that? Why is that not working? That and yeah, just really frustrating. And I ended up almost throwing things at my screen, and I was like, nah. So yeah, I sort of took that. I was taking a break, if I'm honest with you, and just I've come down. I can sort of war where I want really. I jump in when the guys need me rather than having to and follow procedures. And I just don't like that. And I'm not blaming the alliances. I get why they have it. And Grindtime sort of said that it's not as big a thing anymore. But I just don't like the you've got to wait an hour between attacks and pathfinders and all that sort of stuff because it just slows everything down. But I understand that they need that in place to get the most points out of everyone. So I understand it, but I don't have the time. This sort of stems from the way the game is developed. I don't have the time to log in every single hour for 8 hours. And people go like, "There's only 5 battles in a war," but let's just say you drop a few. Let's just say you drop one or two. Let's just say we're not going for perfect, going like, "Oh, you're going to win every single war first time." You might drop. You might be challenged on a base. You might need advice. But if you've got to wait an hour between every single attack, 8 hours. You're not going to log in for 8 hours constantly. No one has got 8 hours of the day to log in every hour religiously. People have got things to do. And they have to remember that the people playing this game are middle-aged people. They're not really young kids. Most of us were Transformers fans from the 80s that are growing up and want to play a game that's not too demanding. Even though I can still play demanding games. I'm that good. I'm a gamer. Hey. Yeah, I mean, we just want to enjoy the game, enjoy Transformers, and they need to understand that we all have lives with kids and with spouses outside of the game. They need to understand that really. Callum, I need more. I need more brain cells. Like the idea of cells, though. Yeah. Yeah. Jed Prime. He is one of the community managers. Yeah, I think I would. I don't think he minds me saying Dale's the more senior the community managers. He's been around longer, but I think that he's trying to pass the mantle on to Callum to be the main CM. I think, and him to go into he's doing a bit of like developing work and that Callum Dale looks like. But yeah. What else? Trying to catch up quite a bit in the chat. Trax has put, yeah, as long as you don't screw up, no one cares about the Pathfinder except for Shanny. I know, but you know what? When like, you know, when when I was in Top Wars, that was really important, and I used to like go mad at people and even argue with people, going like, I used to be like, no, listen, you need to follow protocol. You don't follow the protocol there, you just dropped again. And I'd call people in the chat for it, and Lee's like, oh, you can't call them out in the chat. I'm like, well, follow the rules then. I'm following the rules rigidly, and I put so much time into it. Then people weren't following the rules. I was like, again, it's just a multitude of things. It wasn't just one thing. It was just like, it's me getting quite frustrated at the game, multiple things, not having the time a bit more, the demands of the top level wars, and bugs as well. There's so many things. There's so many things. Actually. Volcanic 69 put I was in high school when G1 Kart came out. Wow. King Grimlock's put I'm the same was I have the skills and bots, just too busy. Quirky engagement mechanics. Yeah. Lumega's put weekend events kill me. First 5 years were convenient. Last 4.5 years weekends not convenient for me. Yeah, but Mayhem mode makes that easier. It does. It does. Ryan pushes put I think that's almost 20,000 battles in Zone 14 for you convert all that Z energy to maxing out one single bot. I don't know. I'd have to do the maths, if I'm honest with you. But if you've done the maths, then fair enough. Doesn't sound too bad, that does it really? That sounds a lot, I'm honest with you, but hey. Carlin's put, yeah, the balance update is exciting. Can't wait to share more with you all. Totally agree. I'm on board with it. Excited for it. Can't wait. Blue Mega's put, yeah, Blue Mega's, yeah, some idea would be great. Works well in Strike Force. Yeah, listen, I've played some other games. I've played Clash of Clans. I've played Clash Royale. I've played Marvel Strike Force. I've played FIFA in the past. I've played Call of Duty in the past. I've played Championship Manager in the past. That's just the main games that I've played over the last 10 years. I've played all these games at a decent level, so I sort of take inspiration from them and see how they work and go, well, that's a good idea. That was good. I like that about that game. I didn't like that. And you sort of bring ideas in. That's how you sort of work it. But, yeah. Down says, but I'd use all my XP stash if there was a slide bar to use more than one. Yeah. Yeah, that's annoying. When the bot gets removed from the squads as well, that's annoying. It really is. But you just got to do one at a time. And you do one, and then put it back in again. But I have in a certain order as well, which is annoying. Yeah, Brian pushes about 338 million XP from 61 to 7 to. Yeah, but you can buy. Is it a million XP for? Not Shanix. No, where's it? Where's the Zen? Oh, it's not on here. It's on test server, isn't it? I thought it's on there. Never mind. Never mind. King Grimlock's put Mayhem should be every week now based on the age of the game. Maybe. I don't know. Again, he has to do some calculations for that. I will give Hyro his due in that sense. He has done a good job of maintaining the game for 10 years. My issue is not with the game and the XP, the bots, and the events, mayhem, and things like that. My issue is not that. My issue with Hyro is when he puts things in the store and does events for new items. It's always new items. Every other event is fine, but as soon as something new, as soon as something that's good, he's like, right, let's slap this price tag on. And you're like, come on, Hyro. I get it's new and you're being cautious, but Jesus, come on. How many maths are you gonna do? As many as I need to. I used to sit here though and do all this sort of stuff. When I was in play tests, I used to do maths and go through things and really like do charts and stuff like that. And now I just leave it to CF to do. But yeah, I remember Frostbolt used to do loads of charts. Was really good at them as well. Don't know where he's gone. They were really good. CS Tactics bot, I've not encountered that all new time for me. A bot gets moved when a squad is in when they're in research. No, I think it's when they go up a level. I think it is when you put the XP in them and they go up a level. I think they get taken out. I think it is something like that. It's not. It does happen for research, but it happens to something else bizarrely. And I'm not too sure if it is that, but it is frustrating when it happens. I thought when they go up a level through using them with the XP. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Even Hyro doesn't like high roll prices, probably. Cool. Right, let's get into this healers and triple changes ratings. If we can find it. No, wrong one. Ooh. There we go. There we go. Cool. So, carrying on the series of different classes of bots rated, we are doing two of the smaller classes. We are now doing healers and triple changes. So, quite, like I said, a small class of each, hence why we combine the two. But if you've not seen my other ones, go and check out my gunners, go and check out my air class, go and check out my warriors, go and check out my specials. They're all done. And like I said, now we're up to healers and triple changes. And I imagine soon we will be doing combats and doing combiners as well. But let's get cracking with healers in the game, rating them. So first off, we have got Wheeljack. So for me, Wheeljack was one of the worst healers in the game at one time. I didn't really rate him. But over the time, I feel like people are struggling a bit to get through bases. And all of a sudden, we need that sort of speed up. And he got ability 11 with the instant heal. So I feel like Wheeljack sort of come into his own a bit last maybe couple of years and sort of come from maybe one of the worst combats to being absolutely up there. And for me, he's definitely A tier. I wouldn't say it's S tier. I wouldn't say like unbelievably good. There's only one healer that's going to go into S tier. Spoiler, but I'm pretty sure you know who that is. But I think that Wheeljack for me is the second best healer in the game. Really, really good. I use him on my war team with another healer. And sadly, the other ones I just sort of fell away really. But I do love that speed up. I love Kunai that works with him. I love combats that work like that, that do well on a bot, but then also work for others, but not as well. I think it's a really good idea. It just means that they can be utilized on a lot of them, but they specialize with one. I really like that idea, and it works well. Next we've got Ratchet, and I think Ratchet goes slightly just below Wheeljack. Very, very similar. But that speed up makes a big difference for me. It really does. I know that Ratchet has the bigger heal, but that speed up with Wheeljack with the healing really, really helps to sort of get through tricky situations with him. I feel like the game now is really focused on that cluster, and we're focused on combiners and outpost bots and getting through them quicker. And that's become a massive part of war attacks. And I feel like any bot that sort of gets you through those parts are going to be essential content and really, really good. So, Wheeljack pips Ratchet for me for that reason. Next up, we have Minerva. Dead simple. S tier. That healing tower is absolutely immense. Off the chart good. Really, really good. And I can't see them nerfing Minerva's tower. I think it's very well balanced. I don't think it's massively OP. I do think it's perfectly balanced. Really, really good healer. Really, really good ability. Doesn't have ability 11 yet. Doesn't have any kind of G1 core yet, which is scary. But I'm sure if she ever was to fall out of the meta, then we could easily just add a G1 core or add something else to sort of add ability 11 even to bring her back up to speed again, which is where these bots should be. So really, really good bot. Next up, we've got First Aid, and First Aid sadly goes down to C tier. Dale's put that he has made some changes to First Aid, but obviously we're working off right now. We can't sort of guess what's going to happen. We talk about the Medibots and his heal being more, things like that. But that AoE heal doesn't work as well anymore, especially with pathing nowadays, with bots splitting. And his Medibots with the shielding just don't do as well with FFDs being so prominent right now. Well, not just right now, generally. So, First Aid sadly sort of drops down to C tier. Then we have... Then we got Retgar. Really difficult one, Retgar, because I really do feel that combine a timeout where if you don't know, if you use Retgar's ability on a bot and make it invulnerable or doesn't die, come back to life, whatever you want to call it, not invulnerable, but come back to life. Once you drop a combiner, it resets it, and takes it away. Because the way that works, that system is, when you combine it, it kills your bots. That's how the system works. It thinks it's killed all your bots, and then when the combiner dies, it brings them all back to life again. So you lose that regen. If they were to fix that, I feel like Redgar would be maybe up here. Honestly, S tier. I think that ability is genius. I think it's really, really good. But because that combiner resets it, sadly, it kind of goes down here. Because there's nothing worse than using ability and wasting points. Nothing worse. If it gets through that sort of combiner part, it goes through the roof. It's absolutely amazing. But sadly, you can't go against a certain base and have a war team. People don't really switch in loads and loads of healers and different like that. You know, and you can't be sort of switching out Redgar because you're dropping a combiner late in the match or early in the match maybe. Again, it's just something you don't need to think about, innit? It's just something you think, I shouldn't be having to think about this. I shouldn't have to think, when am I going to drop my combiner to use the ability? You should be able to use the ability when you want to use the ability. And so that's a major flaw. Once they fix that, I think it'll be up there as one of the best healers in the game. If and when they can. If they've got the tech. If they're able to, that is. So now we're going on to triple changers. And now, first off, we've got Skylinks. So, I would have said at one time Skylinks does immense damage. Now, not so much. I kind of feel like the meta's shifted a bit. He does good damage, but not amazing. But Skylinks' problem has always been not his damage, not his ability, his general Skylinksness, if that's a word. He just runs off. He has a passive which slows him down. He's quite fast, so he runs off ahead. He's melee, and so he gets right up close. So he just sort of stops and starts and goes forward, then dies. So just really hard to manage. And so sadly, Skylinks goes into C tier. Quite a poor bot, if I'm honest with you, which is a shame because it actually does good damage. And when you normally think about bots that do good damage, you automatically think, oh, they'll be quite high. But no, not for Skylinks, sadly. I understand lower level players will think he's really good against cluster bases, but once you get to higher levels of the game, he's really, really poor. He really sort of drops down quite quickly. Next up, we've got Springer. So Springer's a bit of a difficult one. Springer I've wanted for a long time, and I'm currently leveling. So he has a couple of uses. So I know in the previous video I put Cup in A tier, and I feel like Springer's going to probably be about the same. And he has got more uses than Cup, really. Because you can use him on a split base to clear an area and then send him over. I know that Tex did that a lot when he was doing war attacks, and it worked really effectively. Really good on backdoors, absolutely amazing. His healing is great. His stun ability is pretty crap. I don't think anyone hardly uses it, really. It's not that good. And so, yeah, he has some really, really good uses, especially on backdoor. If we're talking backdoors, and obviously he's S tier. Absolutely essential. But in walk teams, not so much. But he is still really good. He is still a really good bot. And I put him in A tier because, like I said, because he's so important for backdoors, which are still viable and still good on split bases. Just can't really Zen farm with him, but you can use him against Sharks. Top tip. Drops from Sharks, send Springer up, he'll get there. So he can be used in other ways as well. So yeah, pretty good bot. Next we've got Sandstorm. And for me, Sandstorm is probably the most underrated triple changer we will talk about. And for me, right up in A tier. Because when you look at his healing stats, it's absolutely immense. Absolutely incredible. Unbelievable. Like Minerva Tower. Unbelievable. Really, really good ability. And even his Toxic Rush is alright. It does a decent amount of damage as well. He's honestly, he's pretty good. Better than what you think. But I have tried a few times to take out a healer and put Sandstorm in. I'm not too sure that's a good enough reason because healers obviously heal for 0 abilities because you can 0 ability points because they just heal constantly. Sandstorm doesn't quite have that. But he does have that amount of heal that he has that you can sort of use and damage on top as well. So I've talked in the past about having a healer that also attacks, but you know what? We kind of got that already in Sandstorm. So I'm really fond of Sandstorm. I think he's really good. I'm still trying to find a way to fit him into my team because the amount of healing does is crazy. Really, really good since his cost reduction. Really, really good bot, and honestly, really deserves to be in 80 in 80. Um, Next we've got Broadside. Now, Broadside's a bit bugged because I was under the impression that you should be able to drop Broadside, drop his healing medibots, and heal himself. But sadly, that's not possible. They won't heal himself. And so, because of that, he's not very good when it comes to Zen farming, not very good for leveling, things like that, which is a shame, really. But when you've got medibots and attack bots that are immune, that's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, honestly, it is. But he's also only a 4-star. He's not got his 5-star version yet. But I actually think he's actually pretty decent. But I like the idea of him in essence, and I think it could be a really, really special bot. But sadly, they also don't do enough damage. The attack bots, and so sadly, it probably goes into D tier. I feel like if they amped up the medibots a bit, amped up the attack bots a bit, made them so they can target Broadside, and brought him out as a 5-star, I honestly think it'd be up here. Maybe even here. I honestly think like that's how innovative the idea behind his ability is. Really, really good. Sadly, just lacks a bit of that punch that he needs, and the fact he's a bit bugged doesn't work as well. Next up, we've got Double Dealer. I love Double Dealer. He's got a special place in my heart. I've got his G1 version as a bot up there on the shelf somewhere. Really, really cool bot. Liked him in lore as well. But I don't think they did justice. So I spoke to Dale, and Dale said they're going to look at maybe doing a bit of a fix for him where they're going to hopefully reduce his flight time, but then the animation's there, so I'm not too sure they can. I'm not too sure what they're going to do with Double Dealer, but it just does everything. The acid lasts really long, but people don't really combine that acid with fire as much. And I feel like his abilities are a bit pricey to combo together. You can only get a couple of uses out of them, and doesn't really do enough really. So Double Dealer, it does stop healing. His rocket does do quite a bit. You can have range combats. It works as it should. So I'm gonna put Double Dealer in C tier because I actually do like the bot. I don't think it's a bad idea. Broadside's in D tier because he's bugged. He's not working as he should for me. He should be able to heal himself. So he's not quite working as he should. Double Dealer will do a job. I know it's only a 4-star version, so it's quite difficult to judge. But I really do think with a 5-star version, with a bit more damage maybe, or a bit quicker acid or something like that, then I think Double Dealer can be a really good bot. I really do. And last off, we've got Snapdragon. So you can use Snapdragon for backdoors, but I just find it's a bit of a risk when I sort of try it really. Not a big fan of using Snapdragon for backdoors, but I just feel like it lacks a bit of use. And Dale sort of said that, oh, I fixed Snapdragon and now he's better, and I've made him better. And I was like, all right, okay. So I think I leveled my 4-star to like 61, I think it was at the time. I was like, oh, I'll go and give him a go, and I gave him a go, and I was like, I don't see what the appeal is really. I don't see him being really that good, but I don't know. For me, he does what he should. I know he rushes. The combos don't really work out when we talk about the combos. Very similar to Double Dealer, and so for that reason, Snapdragon goes in C tier along with Double Dealer for that reason. That yeah, the combo idea is nice. It does do a bit of damage we can use here and there, but the combo just doesn't work. It doesn't quite do enough, and sort of falls a bit short. So that's my tier list. So as you can see there, we've got a bit of a mix from the healers, but other than Springer and Sandstorm, triple changes are struggling a bit and probably need a bit of love and a bit of an improvement. Have we got time for another triple changer? Do we need more triple changes in the game? It's been a long time since we had our last triple changer brought to the game. Is it time we brought another one in? Let me know in the comments, guys. What do you guys think? New triple changer in the game. Do you agree with my rankings? Let me know in the comments. See what everyone else has put. Let's have a look. Oh, King Grimlock's got out. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining. Let's have a look. Captain Flint, welcome to the stream. That's the way headmasters and weapon masters need to work. What do you mean? I've covered so much, I can't remember. Well, let me know what you mean. Make some... What? Build content. Chaseable again. Let me know what you mean. I'm not too sure what you mean there, bud. Darklands Minerva just needs an S11 and G1 core. I think she's still good, though. She's still good. First air. First air, but I'm at rating. And Darklands has agreed that Revive needs to survive the combined reset 100 million %. Volcanica 69's got 5-star Minerva. Really, really good. Well, best thing in the game, in my opinion, so yeah. Skynix is D tier. Darklands has put. Fair enough. I think the damage pumps him up a bit from D tier. Trax Lancaster spot. Redguard isn't that bad with the ability. You just have to keep an eye on your team and use the ability when you need to, as not as insurance. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I like the idea of him. If they fix that, I would put it this way. If they fix that part of him, I would go and chase him at that batch and pull like 2 or 3 bots I think I've got left to go and get him. I would. Yeah, Volcanic 69's put Skynix is suicidal, yeah. Trax Lancaster put Sandstorm and Springer S tier. I wouldn't say S tier. For me, S tier is borderline OP, borderline needs a nerf because they're that good. So I think Minerva is OP. I don't think she needs a nerf, but I think she is OP. But yeah. What kind of 69 too high for Skylinks? That's my ratings. Traxbot Springer Stone works well when backdooring to keep things from hitting you that haven't been taken out close to the HQ. If you can reach them though, because obviously launchers and mortars tend to outrange his missiles ability casting range. So yeah. Also, Phil, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Volcanicus uses cup and sailboat backdoors. Should use Springer as well, mate. Honestly. Darklands Sandstorm is A tier. Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah. Dread 81 Astro Training Springer is amazing. Love him for mobile jumping healing. Yeah, he's really good for that. Track for Lancaster Spot Sandstorm is S tier. You can solo Zone 17 in events. Not a maxed out base, you can't. Not a chance. But yeah, he is very good though. I don't think it's S tier though. I think you're over shouting at him personally. Grandson's put also Phil, all you really missed was admitting American football is better than football. I'm not even commenting. Junior 26V, good to see you. Thanks for joining the stream. And he's put, I have all nearly max builds and Sentius, Nor, Optimus Laser, Twin Twist, and Beachcomber. I have Optimal Optimus that I want to swap to one of these bots out for him on Outposts. I just wait after these sort of. Well, I don't know how long these balance changes are going to take, but just keep in mind that Optimus is on that list of bots that might get a bit of a nerf. So just keep that in mind. But if you want to level him now and use him now for the next 3-6 months, whatever it is, then fair enough, you know. Darklands Broadside is D tier. Yeah, I agree. Hey, we agree. Tracks broadside needs a 5-star count. Are you taking notes? No, 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 it doesn't. Because when they get made 5 stars, they don't get a buff. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, sadly. It needs to be legacy. That's what it needs. Then they'll actually get the rework they need. Downlands double dealer is D tier. I think it's a bit harsh. I think the fact that you can do range combats helps, and I think the fact it does what it should do is alright. You can clear a decent area at low levels, but yeah. Volcanic 69 but broadside should have been a Titan. Interesting theory. Volcanic 69 but Snapdragon's better than double dealer. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Like I said. So yeah, tactics. I get laughed at when I tell people to use Astro or Sandstorm as my team's medics. No, decent bots. I just think that, no offense when I say this, but when you're playing at lower levels, you can afford to use points like that. When you're playing at higher levels, then you can't really use too many ability points for healing. You're really gonna struggle. But what league do you war in though? CF, let me know. But yeah, you're really gonna struggle to keep using ability points like healers for that. Volcanic 69, but Snapdragon should have stayed as a Decepticon because it's a horror con. Yeah, it was a bit weird, but I would have rather had 8-face be Snapdragon. That makes sense because I love 8-face. One of my favourite bots. I was a bit gutted when he was a con. When they brought Snapdragon out and then brought 8-face out later, I think, didn't they? I think I was like, no. Wow, what says a triple changing combiner? Is there such a thing? I don't know. Drax Penlanka support. There are no more triple changes. Yeah, well there is. Look at World. They did it to World, didn't they? But didn't do it that well. But did it to World. But there are more triple changes as such. You got the can't remember. But it's where 2 bots combine into one. We could easily make them triple changes, couldn't they? Easily. And I had an idea for making 6-shot triple changer. I had the idea. I've picked it to them. I put it to Dale. I put it in my stream. Yeah. And Volcanic 69 put 6-shot and quick switch. Yeah, yeah. They could easily make triple changes. Easily. See a tactics like to see depth charge and Beast Wars Rampages trips. Yeah. Highly classified. New Titan update. The update is 5-star event will probably be next saga. How much for? We don't know. Have to wait and see. I'm sure they'll announce it the next week or two. I think. Next up. Well, funny enough, that is the next subject. Just get my Titan up. Nice 5-star Titan there just to show off. So Fabian is sort of in charge of renewing the Titans and sort of bringing them a bit more relevant in the game. That's the word. And the sort of talk was that he really wants to get into this rock, paper, scissors sort of thing between Metroplex and the other Titans, which is a bit difficult when one will be a 5-star and the rest won't until later. But eventually, I imagine he wants it like that. But I think the big problem as well is that there's another Titan coming in. That'll be a 4th. So instead of a rock, paper, scissors, and it's kind of like a square, it doesn't work as much. It's going to be hard where it really fits in. But all this sort of, try and guess how it's going to work in the game. But Fabian, to his credit, said that he wants to sort of give him a big overhaul and wants to add some things in. Now, none of this is guaranteed. None of this has been promised. But it's just some ideas. But he has sort of said he's not flush for time, but it is something he wants to do. So credit to him. And he said that he sort of like helped make Titans and they've not been maybe as successful as he once thought. And you know what? I'll give him credit to that. At least he's been man enough to sort of own up and go, yeah, it didn't really work. But I think it was almost an impossible task. I think it was almost impossible to balance because of the size of them. And I always said it's impossible to balance a bot that is as big as the base, because by rights they should take out the whole base on their own. But if they do that, it's going to be OP to hell and a waste of time. And the borderline that way, that in lower levels they can take out a whole base on their own. And I'm sure it's really, difficult for us, a newer player, to sort of see that happen and see any sort of, end game in sight where they can get through, because you can come with one Titan and take out the whole base. So not balanced at all. But then again, they can't have them underpowered because they're no waste of time and there's no point in having them. So very difficult to balance. But I don't normally call out people in playtest unless it's done something good. If it's something I don't really like in playtest, I'll be like, yeah, someone said this, and I won't really call them out because I'm talking about a subject or such. But someone mentioned something in playtest today, and I thought, you know what, that's a really good idea. And I was a bit gutted. I didn't think about it, I'm honest with you. I sort of touched upon it, maybe. Maybe you could say that, but not quite. And that person, Jacada, who I think is quite knowledgeable, talks a lot of sense, quite reasonable with his explanations and the way he sort of talks about things. We don't see eye to eye on everything sometimes, but I think he's quite knowledgeable, really. And he sort of said that, about this rock, paper, scissors thing, that we have this sort of base effect that they never really expanded on. And he sort of said, we need to expand on that and really give each Titan an effect for your bots. So each Titan does something different. Maybe gives your bots protection, maybe gives them more speed, maybe gives them more damage, whatever it might be, but they all give something different, and that equates into your bots when you're maybe on defense, maybe on attack, whatever it is. That was a good idea. I don't think that's totally out of the box, really. I'm sure other people sort of suggested that. And then Fabian sort of said, yeah, well, I'm thinking about making some new abilities so you can sort of make your Titan more defensive. So if mine's defensive and yours is attack, and more balanced, whereas if mine's on defense and balanced that way to be defensive, this will be harder to take down, but not really good on attack. It makes sort of sense, and I thought that's pretty good. But there was a thing that what Jacada said, and I was like, you're onto something there. You really are. And what he said was why don't we have Titan cores for defenses? And he started explaining it, and he sort of explained that they could give him more HP, and I don't really like that idea because we've got the shield gen. You've always got to think, like, how can this be used in the most extreme way possible? And you can imagine that if we started giving them 30% extra HP for a few defenses, and let's just say we had 3 Titan cores to put on some defenses, and it increased defense and attack by 30%, say, all you're going to see is people putting them on the MDS, putting next to the shield gen, and just protecting them. So all it's going to do is make it really difficult to kill. So I wouldn't give them HP, but I would give them DPS. I really would. Extra healing, maybe. Something the bot already has. I really like that idea, and I thought, I think you're onto something here. And because I always said, my problem with base design at the minute is too much focus around the shield gen cluster, around the shield gen and healing and putting Liege there and all healing and protecting itself. And it's kind of a case of you killed that because the MDS is in there as well. You kill that, you win the base. That's kind of what happens. And then you've obviously got some outpost bots, but that's kind of the concept. Well, no one thinks about mortars anymore and launchers and beam lasers. They're kind of like a side thought. It's like, no, how do I get rid of that? How do I get rid of that cluster? How to deal with the combiner? How to deal with the outpost bots? That's pretty much it. Be careful of your pathing. That's pretty much it. But I feel like giving some defenses is sort of Titan boosts. Whether it be more healing, whether it be more DPS, whether it something, it can sort of start bringing other defenses back to life, which is what I always wanted. I always wanted to bring more defenses to make them considered. So when you're attacking a base, you might see a beam laser with a Titan core on it, and it gives it 50% extra DPS or 100% DPS even. and you're like, whoa, like that needs to go. That needs to go, as well as the shell cluster, but that needs to go. And I was also talking to Dale about counters and things like that for things, but we don't need counters if there's no HP. If there's no extra HP, we don't need counters. We just need to be considered the counters becoming the shield gen cluster. So is it kind of time that we sort of come away from the shield gen cluster? I've mentioned it before, and look at other defenses and make them more powerful in the game and give us more reason to take out individual defenses because they are so powerful. And I really like that idea. So kudos to Takeda. Really like that idea, mate. Really go and run with it. You know, I like people in playtest as well that catch on to something and push that. You know, I've done that plenty of times and gone, no, this needs to happen. Like, this is really good. Like, you're not really listening. Come on, you're not took note of this. You know, did that with Beachcomber. They didn't want to give him a blue lagoon. They didn't want to give him the golden lagoon. And I was like, he has to have a golden lagoon. He has to have that golden lagoon, even if it's just a skin. He has to have that golden lagoon. And I'm kind of like, yeah, but it's sort of late in the day. I was like, he has to have it. He has to. And sort of hit home. So, you know, sometimes you get onto something and the apes aren't listening or the Yodos aren't listening and you hit gold. And I think Jakeda's really hit gold with this. I think it's a really good idea for Titan cores. I think it's monetizable. You can monetize it. You can put them in events. Just 3 events for a Titan core because not something stupid, but if you put that in an event, people are going to want it to make their defenses more powerful, especially at top level wars. So I'm excited to maybe that being considered. So Yodos, if you're watching this, have a look into that idea. It's a good idea. It's a new core. It can maybe make people open crystals somehow. Do we get it in parts where we can trade things in? I don't know. I'm just spitballing. But I'm sure there's some way we can monetize it. Some way we can bring it into the game to make defenses a bit more even again and not solely focused on that shield gen cluster and make Titans relevant again. What do you guys think of that? I know I've seen a few comments saying they agree and it's a good idea, and I've seen Freezer saying like, you know, make Jakeda president, but you know, I really like that idea, guys. I really like it. Just going back a minute, Tracks has put they made a 6-shot. Who would be the Autobot? Quick switch, six changer. Blade 19's, but I don't understand why we can't use one for defense and one for offense. Yeah, that was brought up as well. That got brought up in playtest. So yeah, you can put on defense for the war, but I get it though. It should be like a combine. I should be able to put one on defense and leave it there. High classifieds, but 2 Titans is stupid like 2 combiners. What do you mean? Don't think you mean like putting one on defense, one on attack? I don't think it's stupid at all. Someone called Steve's one. Yodos. Thanks, Steve. Steve. Brian Pusher has put Titan power cores. Yeah, in essence, yeah. And that concludes the talk about Nerf bots. Oh, Blade 19. I like that as well. Another use of Prime Core shards. This is how we get things done, you see. That's a good idea. But make it a lot. Make it like, you know, make it like 50,000, 50,000 shards for one. You know, how many have I got? I think, well, we've got a million. Well, yeah, you know that. That's playtest. I keep looking at. I'm going to get my game up a minute so I can show you that in a minute. So I do. No, I need to keep off the new bot. After the new bot, we'll have a look. But yeah, I don't know. So it has to be a decent amount. That's a good idea. Yeah, use Prime Core shards for it, and then you can put Prime Core shards in events still. Yeah, I like that. Ready to one possible Titan core for a stupid amount of Prime Core shards. No, not a possible one, but you could bring out 3. One provides extra healing in an area, 1 extra damage in an area, maybe, or extra damage to 1 defense, something like that. It would be random, but like with the Prime cores. So you guaranteed 1, but which one you get is the random bit. Not random of getting one. The random bit is which one you'd get. Something like that. One, maybe the amount of 3 for Metroplex, 3 for Arc, and 3 for Fort Max. And you got 9 in there, a bit like the Prime Cores. It's just something a bit different in it. Xavier Horvath, but I hope they eventually add Tidal Wave. I think they will. I really do. I did a video on it. I really do think they will. Traxxas, but they should use makeshift jump weights to do 2 cores. They can't because of animations. They can't add that many abilities. They can't add 6, but you could combine 2 into 1. If that makes sense. So yeah, you could easily add 2 animations. So for example, one of them is it turns into a gun, it turns into a dragon. So why can't it turn to a gun, shoot an area on fire, and then breathe acid as a dragon? And that's the ability. That's one ability, but like 2 animations. I'm sure to be able to do that. I suggested that. And just have do that, or I said have him as a bot. Have one where he transforms into a passive. Give him 2 passives even, and then give him like, what was it? 2 animations for 2 abilities. That's 4. So 2 animations is 1 ability. 2 animations is another ability. So a triple changer. Then give him a 2 passives, and I think he'll be able to do that. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah. High classifiers put 2 shield gens. Oh god no. Having 1's bad enough. I hate the shield gen. It's just stupid. The amount of like, I think the idea of it was good, but also the way people utilise it of putting the highest HP defenses around it and so much healing, it's just a bit crazy, isn't it, really? It just gets a bit too much. And yeah, there are ways you can beat it and things like that, but I just feel sorry for newer players that have probably come against it and try killing it and it just heals back to full health again. I just think it gets a bit crazy, really. Just a bit frustrating for newer players, I think. You know, you got to look at it that if it frustrates you slightly, the top level player, it's going to frustrate the hell out of lower players. So keep that in mind. Cool. Right. So let's have a look at the new bot before we sort of finish the stream off. Let's fill up with that. I'll just do this. I don't listen off. So last week we had a look at Armada Scavenger, and the outlook wasn't too good, in honesty. It was quite a damning judgment, and we sort of said that the damage wasn't enough. It was very similar to other warriors that do more. We sort of compared into pipes, compared to Grimlock. And we just said that, you know, why would you go for this bot when you've already got Grimlock and already got pipes? Just makes no sense doing acid and things like that. So, credit to the apes. They took it and they've gone, okay, we take what you've said and we're going to bump it up a bit. Now, I believe they have, this is either the cleared up tooltip or they are going to clear up even more. But it is a lot better. It just makes more sense. Because people were asking, going, okay, I sort of understand the numbers, but what damage is it doing? And it's very difficult to work out. So the way to do it now is a bit easier. So you gain 8% health and damage absorption, which is generally, you know, decent for most warriors nowadays, and 20% damage reflection, which is alright, not too bad, for 8 seconds before charging into combat. That's a bit confusing because you charge into combat straight away. So that before bit is a bit confusing. But anyway, during this time, every 2% health lost. But the problem with that is that you've got an 80% health buff and damage absorption, so you're not taking much damage. But every 2% health lost temporarily increases their special damage. Temporarily increases their special ability damage by 299 up to 10 times. So what that means is that you don't take any damage, it'll do 299 damage at the end target. But as he takes damage up to a maximum of 10 times, he'll do almost 3,000 damage in an area, which is not bad, it's all. Then it's put after this time, they strike the ground, dealing another 2.5k damage, plus their total temporary special ability damage in a medium area. So that plus their temporary special ability damage, and it's just a bit confusing. But ultimately, if you send him into a high kill zone area, it's going to do, according to that, about 5.5k damage. So once we compare that to the likes of Grimlock, then yeah, we're looking a bit more than Grimlock. His G1 core is not really working right now, so can't really equip that, but that's never a question for the day. And then you got 4k from Pipes. So Pipes is the best warrior in the game, I would say, by far. And he is so good because he also has acid. So extremely good. But what these have also done to Scavenger is they've not finished there. What they've also done is they've also given him a G1 power core. Now the G1 power core is currently bugged, so I can't equip it. I have tried endlessly, with honest here. But ultimately, what it does is the G1 basically increases damage more. So it'll probably go up to about 6,000 damage in total. And it also adds acid. Now, I've already got acid with pipe, so that's not a major big thing for me. But 6k damage in the area is pretty decent. So let's take him into a battle, and we'll see what changes they've done, and we'll make a bit more of a judgment on it. So we'll go up Scavenger over here. We'll keep away from an outpost. They're over there for a reason, though, guys, but you'll see soon. So we're gonna rush him in. You see he's taking damage there. Let's have a look at his damage he does now. When his shield goes. And you can see there that he's took about a third of the health off the laser turret. So obviously that's a bit better than what it was, but it's not great. Well, let's just send him into a bit more of a kill box area and see how he does here. So we've got a build bot close by. So in an ideal world, I would want him to kill that build bot. Wait till his damage builds up. And you can see there, he's took about half the health off the build bot. So going off that sort of damage, if I'm honest with you, I wasn't completely sold. I was a bit like, for the cost of it, it just needs that bit more. I don't think he's going to be a build bot killer. No one's going to really use him as that. But I just feel like if you're rushing the bot ahead and dragging the healers out and it's a warrior, and, you know, if you want to excel and beat what the other bots that we've already got are doing, then you do need to give it a bit more of something else. And so sadly, it's a bit late in the day now, I feel, for any major changes. But the way I look at this is that it it acts a lot like most other warriors we've got. It sounds innovative, but it's overcomplicated. So you could easily do gains 80% health and 80% damage absorption. The 20% reflections near there. It's a bit. It's nothing major. It's pittance. And then do 6k damage in an area with acid. Done. All this during this time, every 2% health lost increases special ability damage. All it does though, it still adds up to what the max amount of damage is. But I do like that they're thinking outside the box a bit. But for me, the part I don't like is actually the health and damage absorption. I feel like that's very similar to all the other warriors. And I feel like we've missed a bit of a trick with this one. And that it could have been a bit different. Now, as we know, warriors with their 8% health and damage absorption shields gets countered by FFD. I would have preferred it where you rush it in with a 40% health and damage absorption. You get the damage for health lost, and then gain 80% of that damage that's been dealt, the health loss, back. That's what I kind of preferred. Because then if you do it that way, where you haven't got a shield, FFD no longer negate it, but anti-heal cores do. And so we talk about shifting metas, and people use FFDs to counter pipes and to counter slug and to counter nose cone and bots as such like that, because they know the shield is so important and they sort of die without it. So reducing that sort of shield down, but then I'm balancing it not just 40% and going to 40%, but balancing it so that you can rush in and maybe goes down to like half health, but then gain a massive health boost that's not countered by FFD, but also countered by anti healing cores. It just creates that bit of difference in your team that we spoke in earlier in another subject about creating teams that go around the elements that I countered. And so I just feel like we could have made something a bit different, slightly. I do like that every percent health adds up to damage, but not because it doesn't work with the shield. That's the reason that you don't lose health when you've got a shield stopping you losing health. That's the bit I don't like. And I feel like they could have done something really good with this bot and something really different. But there's something I want to show you. Now, proviso, this ain't going to stay. But maybe they could do something with it, if not for this bot, but maybe a future bot. So, what is happening right now is his abilities are stacking. So, I'm just going to show you. So, we'll rush in. We'll let him do his damage. Wait till it finishes off. And you can see there's damage 3.5k. But if we rush in and rush him again, and rush him again, and then watch now. Oh, so now he's doing 8k damage. And so the more usability, the more damage he is doing. Now, with his G1 core, with him maxed out, you could probably get about 10k damage out of him. Now, granted, it is quite a lot of ability points, and I really can't see this staying, because you keep a bit like Blue Streak, but without any sort of any ceiling. He just does crazy amount of damage and doesn't stop. Someone in playtest said they got 50k damage out of him. I doubt 50k, maybe under certain, certain environments where they're taking loads of damage, then maybe. I'm going to try and get more out of him. I'm trying to get more damage from him to take so that he does more. Roll him into the shield gen. Let's see what he does here. Let's do another one in a minute. Now this should be quite a lot of damage now. Let's see what he does here. And you can see there, almost took out half out that cluster out on his own. Quite incredible damage. Now I'm not saying that is unbelievable, looks crazy good, but it's pretty good. It's pretty alright. But I feel like it's an avenue they can look at. I feel like it's something they can do with another bot where they can stack it up. Maybe the bot will stay like this. I don't think it's like super impressive. What I am saying is though, I think it's an interesting mechanic to do for a bot where it stacks like that. And I like these sort of things. Blue Streak does have it up to amount of 3, and I like these sort of things where you can use them multiple times and things stack and things go on top of others and the effects change, like we talked about Power Glide, hopefully, with what they can do with him. And it just shows that they are trying to think outside the box a bit, I think. Especially if they stay in this bot. So I don't think it's crazy OP. I don't think it's absolutely ridiculous the way it is in the game in testing right now. Don't know if it's going to stay or not. But I do like that as an idea. And I think it needs to be looked at a bit more. So, off on a tangent, but coming back on it again. So my verdict on Scavenger is that I feel it's pretty good. I feel he's all right now. If I was going for this now as part of the endurance, I would be disappointed with him. Is it a major upgrade from Pipes? No. I'd maybe put him on par with Pipes, maybe, which is a good thing because Pipes is so good. Pipes is a bit more cheaper, but I find Armada Scavenger is good. But I feel like with this bot, we've kind of done what I've asked them to do. They have improved over previous content. It is slightly better than most warriors. It does do a good amount of damage. It is probably a bit better than Grimlock. You know, I always say that new players should be able to come into the game and they should be able to take part in all these endurances and they should be able to create a good war team. And so, for the first time in a while, I'm going to actually give this bot my seal of approval and say, you know what, it's pretty good. It's alright. I don't mind it. My big issue is how late it's come. I would rather be saying this 2 weeks before the event, plugging the event, me going for the event as well, and saying to you guys, listen, this guy's worth spending on. Go and do the event. He's pretty decent. He's worth the investment. But sadly, we're doing this a day before the event, and people have already made their bids. Probably on my previous video, and I apologise for that. But sadly, I have to do it at that point and get that information out there so people know what they're bidding for. And so my big question to the Yodos is like, you need to get his content out sooner. If you'd have got his content out sooner, this bot would have made you a lot more money, even just from me. It's a really interesting bot. Interesting theory, how it works, and really, really good in the game. So if you are a new player and you're building a war team, I would recommend you to go for this bot. I don't think it's revolutionary. I don't think it's going to be like super OP, but I do think it's up there with some of the best warriors in the game. It is really, really good. If you're an experienced player and you've already got Pipes and you've already got Grimlock, I wouldn't be too disheartened if you've not gone for it in the event. You can pull them eventually if you want to, but do you want to spend all them resources ranking up, leveling someone that's just a bit better than most other warriors, maybe a bit behind Pipes or around that sort of area of what Pipes is? Maybe not. But let me know what you guys think. Are you impressed by him? Have I turned you around? Have the apes sort of turned you around? Have they actually done a good job on this bot? Is it still a bit too confusing and a bit too much? Are they just sort of still going with that 80% health and damage absorption and really milking that to death? Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Yeah, Xavier Horvat, yeah, FFD is Force Field Disruptor, which obviously takes shields away, so yeah, good for you. Yeah, good, it's been answered. Thank you, Volcanicus, for answering. Just reading up some comments. Traxpan Lancaster's put, what you said is almost the same thing. One core you can equip 3. Yeah, but I don't think you can equip animations to cores, I don't think. I'm trying to think of a core that changes the animation of a bot. I don't think there is one. That's the point I'm making. I don't think there is a core that changes animations. So you couldn't put one on. Well, I suppose Huffer kind of does, doesn't he? He has 2 animations, doesn't he? Or does he? No, he has the 2 animations that the cores emphasize it. The cores don't change the animations, do they? Is there any bot that has a core that changes the animations? I don't think it does. I think the bot is set and the cores emphasize the different animations. So yeah, the animation would have to be on the bot, not on the core. That's what I'm making. So yeah, you are right. It kind of is what you said, but it would have to be the bot, not part of the core, I think. So yeah. Blade 19, but what rank is it? Private. There you go. Dark Answers put saves me a future batch ball going for 5-star. Yeah, I think you'll find him alright. I don't think you were disappointed with him. Xavier Horvat's bot, I feel like he will be really good when paired with a bot that buffs ability damage. Yeah, if the stacking stays, maybe, but it's a lot of points as well. So I wouldn't be using him like that, really. Me personally, I don't know. It's a bit too much. But listen, he could come in the game and bugged and still do what he was doing. So who knows what's going to happen with him? But we know it's there. You know, I'm sure the apes know. We were talking about in play test, so they sort of know that it's not working really. Maybe I think it should do, but have they toned it down already? And that's why we're sort of seeing less numbers than what other people have seen. I don't know. Have they got the G1 core one? Mine's bugged. I don't know. Have they got him ranked up to full? I don't know. But I still think it's changes to be made to this bot maybe. I wouldn't change it personally as long as that damage doesn't go above like the sort of 8k we saw. Was it 11k? I think for multiple uses. I think if you can get 11k out of a bot by using it 5 times, then good luck to you. It's not a crazy amount, is it? But I think he's actually well balanced. I just hope they don't change this over this weekend and make it worse than what it is now. Because I actually quite like it. I think it's actually written a really good spot to be a really good bot. And something people are worthy doing endurance for the first time in a long time. So if you're going for it, well done, I think, yeah. Yeah, really, really cool. Right, like I said, let's go on my live account. Let's look at how many total spark crystals I've got. I've got quite a few. I thought I was gonna crash for a minute. Yeah, because I remember doing some endurances on some legacies, thinking, yeah, I could do with the total shard crystal and total spark crystals, and then you know, got them, mounted them up, added to them, and then never needed them. Um, oh yeah, Raiden, and you're going back in again. So you see, they've got 3 million combiner spark. Even that's not even opening my crystals. Like I've got loads of crystals here with like Dinobot crystals and different combiner crystals, so loads of spark in there. And yeah, they can see that I've got 500 total spark crystals. So it's not like I need the spark. That's my big issue. I've got, other than the bot, there's no reason for me to do events. You know, again, competition, who can get the most shards, getting close to 500k now, which is absolutely mental. So what's that? Let's have a look. Calculator. So we've got, let's go at 465,000 just to round it up. So 465,000 shards divided by 2,500 equals, we've got 186 4-star crystals. We times that by 5-star shards for each pull, and we've got 33,500 shards, 5-star shards just there. So 33.5, 5. So we've got what? 7 5-star pulls there, pretty much. In them, just there. 7 5-star pulls. It's a shame. Yeah, Danton's got nearly 500 total spark crystals. Yeah, well, I like to flex a bit. You don't noticed. Yeah, well, I don't need them for that either. I've got 4.5 mil there. It's leveled up style to 8, but I'm not sure it's working properly, so I'm not going to go the whole hog. 8 will do. Grand test put, can you update us on Raiden? Is he good to use in outposts? Which ability is best? I'm waiting until I sort of level mine on live, and I want to do some tests with him. I might do a video on him then. But obviously I'm leveling mine up to 25, so I might do one combiner skip. I think I've got a few skips. I want to try and keep them maybe. Because they like rocking our shit. Gotta say. Combiner skips. You don't get many of them. Watch us now, 20. No, I want 20, but I've got 6 combiner skips. 6. I've been saving them for years, so I might use one on Raiden and keep 5, I think. Yeah, I think so. Xavier Horvath's put, open them all, I'll be here all year. Because not only have I got that, obviously I've also got 3,200 prems as well. And then I've obviously got a lot of crystals in here as well. Like I said, I've got so much, like I said, cores, like 1,100 cores there, and then always combine crystals 400, 600. So Got so many. But I just want to put up a proviso. I see, and it kills me, I see mid-level and low-level players saving crystals. Don't, guys. Unless you are at a point where you have got every G1 core that you need, every defense core you need, every prime core defense, every prime core on offense. Until you've got every single thing you need and you've got all the bots that you need, not want, because you could always want more, but need. Once you've got everything you need, then yeah, save a crystal something better in case new content comes out. But if you haven't, pull them crystals, guys. Honestly, don't copy the top players saving them thinking it's the right thing to do. It's not. The top players are saving them because there's nothing to open that's worthy of opening them. You're just going to get more of what you don't need. And so we're all waiting for something that we do need to come out. Now, when new cores come out, the top players will have them in a heartbeat. And granted, as a mid-level player, you think, well, I want the new cores when they come out. But that's no good if you haven't got the bots to go in the outpost, if they're not leveled, if you haven't got the cores to go with them, you haven't got the other defense cores and the prime cores, you might as well not bother. So just be, don't be a sheep sort of following top players and going like, yeah, I'm going to save my crystals. There's no point at all. There's no point. Go and pull them crystals unless you're max out HQ and you're sort of at the end game. Then start saving. The only proviso I would say is you save crystals if you're going to do a crystal opening video for YouTube. Then yeah, I kind of get it. But they're not as popular as they once were years ago. So think about that as well. Grand Transport, which ability did you choose for him? Mine just came out, the Cooker Max. Can't remember. Let's have a look. The 3-star ability. The Rapid Fire. Rapid Fire at target, dealing 2,900 DPS for 4 seconds. Shots bounce to nearby ones, a 20% damage reduction. When assigned to defense, this ability deals double damage to combats and combiners and bots. So it does about 6k damage over 4 seconds. And also bounce to targets 2 times, doing 4,000 damage. 4,500, so 6,000 to the bots and combats, and then 4,500 behind them as well. And then it gains 4% more damage and 1% lifesteal each time Raiden takes damage. So you want to get him in range ideally to take damage and then just rattle that off and let him take loads of damage and he'll do loads of damage. But on offense, just dies a bit quick. Bit of a glass cannon on offense, but I don't mind on defense. It's all right. Trash Pan Landscape support. I use the water reduction one. I think it's a 4-star. Yeah, but that water reduction thing's gonna go soon, isn't it? I'll have to rewrite that again and give it something else. But yeah. But yeah, pretty good. Volcanic support. Ruin only had a counter. Yeah, but Billbot's so easy to take out. I mean, so yeah. But yeah. Yeah, I might put the 4-star in actually. 4-star ability maybe to stop ruination being used. Interesting. But yeah, that's a good point as well. We'll talk about nerf and ruination. We've got a counter for ruination, so it makes it twice as bad. We see Raiden on defense, but it's gonna really kill him, that, isn't it? I think if it even reduce him a bit, but depends how effective Raiden is, I suppose. But yeah. Right, well, that is it for this week, guys. Appreciate everyone for joining me on stream. Don't forget to hit a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you'd like anything in tonight. So we're back again next Thursday with the same, again, going through the important news and hot topics in Transformers Earth Wars. If you like my content and want to get it up to date, fresh off the press, then consider becoming a member, guys. And you can go and watch any video I make instantly, rather than waiting for it to be released to the general public. I've got loads of rating videos in there, setup videos, things like that haven't been released to the general public yet. Will be eventually, but not yet. So if you like that sort of stuff and want to get the info hot off the press right now, then consider becoming a member. Thanks to everyone for watching. Much appreciated. See you next week, guys. And Peace out.